What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and your focus was gone? Not foggy, gone. The kind of morning where coffee does not land, where your inbox feels like a wall, and where the simplest decision takes 10 minutes. Now what happens when that same fog rolls in every single day and you have just accepted it as who you are? That slow erasure of clarity, of drive, of mood, it does not start with stress. It starts with what you ate last night. And over the next 24 hours, sugar is going to take your brain on a ride you never agreed to. The moment sugar touches your tongue, a clock starts ticking, and over the next 24 hours, your focus, your mood, your memory, and your willpower rise and crash on a schedule you never chose. Most people blame a lack of discipline, when the real story is chemistry. It begins the second sugar reaches your tongue. Even before it reaches your stomach, taste receptors on your tongue fire signals straight to the brain's reward center, and dopamine starts to rise. That first hit of sweetness is one of the most reliable dopamine triggers we know. It is why a hard day so often ends with a search for something sweet. This is not a moral weakness. It is one of the oldest wiring patterns in the mammalian brain, built to seek fast calories when they were rare. Within about 15 minutes of eating something sweet, that sugar is in your bloodstream and your blood glucose climbs fast. The speed matters. A can of soda can push glucose higher in minutes than a plate of whole food would in an hour, because liquid sugar arrives with nothing to slow it down. Refined carbs like white bread and pasta do almost the same thing, because the body treats them like sugar the moment they hit the gut. Your brain loves glucose. It is the only fuel it runs on, so a spike feels like a surge of energy and alertness. For a short window, you feel sharp, awake, and good. The brain is soaking up the fuel it craved, and everything feels a little easier. But that spike triggers a sharp insulin response. Your pancreas dumps insulin to clear the sugar, and it often overcorrects. Insulin's job is to move sugar out of the blood and into your cells. When a huge amount arrives at once, the response is equally huge, and the rebound is steep. About an hour in, the crash begins. Blood sugar that shot up comes back down, and sometimes it drops below where it started. Your brain, suddenly short on its favorite fuel, sends out an alarm. You feel irritable, unfocused, and tired, and you reach for something sweet again just to feel normal. This is the first trap. The very thing that gave you the high is now demanding a refill, and the cycle can repeat all day if you keep feeding it. The hippocampus is like the brain's save button. When it is under strain from glucose swings, new information does not stick the way it should. There is also a mood angle. Rapid swings in blood sugar track closely with swings in mood. Around midday, the pattern repeats if lunch is built on white bread, pasta, or dessert. Another spike, another crash, another dip in patience and drive. The afternoon is when it hurts most. That 3 p.m. slump so many people accept as normal is often just the tail of a blood sugar crash from lunch. When glucose drops, the brain's prefrontal cortex loses power. This is the zone behind your forehead that handles planning and self-control. The prefrontal cortex is the most energy-hungry region in the brain. When glucose dips, it is one of the first places to feel it. This is why you suddenly want the cookie, the scroll, the nap. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is low on steady fuel. Sugar also feeds a quieter problem: inflammation. Higher added sugar intake is linked to more low-grade inflammation, and the brain is sensitive to it. By evening, the day's swings catch up. If you have been riding the sugar roller coaster, your stress hormone cortisol is already elevated. High cortisol and high sugar feed each other. The more of one, the more the other gets amplified, and the more wired but tired you feel. Deep sleep is when the brain clears waste and consolidates memory. A nighttime sugar spike steals that window, so you wake less restored. That late-night pull towards something sweet is not a lack of discipline. It is a habit loop wired into the brain's reward circuitry by repetition. Here is the part worth remembering. It is not sugar itself that is the enemy. It is the speed and the dose. Whole fruit, with its fiber, feeds glucose in slowly, and the brain handles it smoothly. An apple and a cookie can contain similar sugar, but the apple arrives with a break. So how do you flatten the curve? Start with breakfast. Pair carbs with protein, fat, or fiber so the morning spike never happens. An egg with your toast, nuts with your fruit, slows the rush and keeps the brain topped up instead of flooded. Swap the liquid sugar. A soda or juice delivers pure glucose with zero buffer, while water or an unsweetened drink lets your brain run on its normal supply. If the habit is the can, change the can. Sparkling water with lime delivers the ritual without the roller coaster. Walk for 10 minutes after a meal. Muscle pulls glucose out of the blood without needing insulin as hard, which takes the spike off the top. Movement is the one tool that lowers blood sugar from both ends. It uses the fuel, and it teaches the body to use it better. Eat your sweets with a meal, not alone. A dessert after a full plate hits the blood far more gently than the same dessert on an empty stomach. Add cinnamon, vinegar, or a greens-heavy plate to a meal, and you further blunt the glucose response, according to several small studies. Give sleep its due. A well-rested brain craves less sugar, regulates appetite better, and handles stress without reaching for a quick hit. Sleep is the reset button for the whole system. Skip it, and the next day's cravings are louder and harder to refuse. Plan the evening. If you know the 10 p.m. craving is coming, have a protein snack ready so the loop has nothing to grab. The science here is not controversial. The mechanisms of glucose, insulin, dopamine, and the hippocampus are well mapped. The morning is where the whole day is won or lost. A steady breakfast prevents the 10 a.m. crash that starts the cycle, and the payoff is not abstract. People who flatten their glucose report fewer afternoon crashes, calmer moods, and easier focus. Let's trace a single better day so you can see the mechanism in motion. Breakfast is eggs and spinach with a slice of toast, not cereal and juice. By 10 a.m., there is no crash because glucose rose slowly and insulin never spiked. Your focus stays because the prefrontal cortex never lost its fuel. Now, a couple of myths worth clearing up. The first is that all sugar is the same. Chemically similar, yes, but the body treats a handful of berries nothing like a can of soda. The second is that sugar gives you energy. It does, for about 20 minutes, then the crash takes it all back and then some. If you want a simple rule, it is this: eat sugar with a meal, not alone. Attach it to protein, fat, and fiber, and the damage shrinks. If you want a second rule, move after you eat. 10 minutes of walking is not a workout, but it is one of the most effective glucose tools we have. You will notice the change first in your afternoons. The 3 p.m. fog softens, the craving quiets, and the work gets easier without you trying harder. And that is the 24-hour story of sugar and your brain. The spike is not inevitable, and the crash is not your identity. Flat beats fast. A slow, steady supply of glucose is what your brain was built to run on. You already know the tools. Pair your carbs, move after you eat, protect your sleep. The question was never whether this works. The question is whether you will try it for one day and see what changes. If this helped you understand why the 3 p.m. crash is not just tiredness but a glucose problem, tell us in the comments what you are going to try first. Like and share this with someone who keeps reaching for the candy bars at their desk. Then hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next breakdown when it drops. See you on the next one.